And just like that, the St. Louis Blues' 2025-2026 season comes to an end.
Hi, I'm Robert Thomas, and this is Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome back to Locked On Blues. I'm your host, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. On today's episode, what a way to end this season. The Blues, in my opinion, had a very nice victory over Utah. The end of the season awards, that is something that I did begin, and I want to talk to you about it. And then finally, my favorite Friday segment. Are we feeling blue? Was this a good week or is this a bad week for the St. Louis Blues? We have a lot to get into on today's episode, so let's just dive right into things. First and foremost, I hope everybody is having a happy Friday, April 17th. It is day one without Blues hockey, and it's definitely weird. I know for me, I woke up today and I was like, wow, it's over. Like, there's nothing else, to talk about when it comes to the season specifically. So that was weird, especially when the boys are all coming off of a 4-game win streak. You got the momentum going, and now it's like, and it's done. Isn't that such a weird feeling when your team is winning and then all of a sudden it's done? I don't know. Maybe call me cliche, call me storybook ending, but it just sucks that this is the way that it had to go. Anywho, the Blues, they did find themselves in the win column last night with a 5-3 victory over Utah. Bushi started off the scoring. However, Utah was able to get back 2 goals, so they were up 2-1. And then my boy Robert Thomas had 2 back-to-back goals. And then Utah was able to finish out the second frame with a goal tying it 3-3. Finally, in that final frame, Logan Mailloux had an unassisted goal, followed by Robert Thomas getting his second career hat trick, making it a 5-3 victory. Jimmy Snuggerud had the assist, giving him 30 points. Philip Broberg, 28 points. And isn't it kind of ironic that Robert Thomas was the last player on the Blues to score a goal this season? Now, I want to say this. I think going out with a win, and I know what some of you are going to say, it's not going to help the Blues when it comes to the draft. I hear you. Okay? I do. But there is a part of me that feels like this is going to give them so much confidence heading into next season. I'm not expecting a lot of players not to come back. I'm expecting it to be the same core group of players. And I think that ending the season on a positive note is something that truly could help the future of this team. I think sometimes a lot of us, we just want to give up. And that was me at one point. I wanted to give up. I didn't want the boys to try to make it to the playoffs because I felt like it wasn't going to happen. And while it didn't happen, the Blues were able to gain something that is far more important. And that is literally gaining their confidence. And hockey is such a mental game sometimes that something as simple as gaining confidence does go a long way. Another thing that I wanted to point out when it came to the Blues, right? Because I'm always talking about the Blues. Like, that's literally all I talk about is the Blues. Is that the top forward lines of the NHL regular seasons by goals scored per 60 was the Blues at number 1. Are you kidding me? 5.67. Like, that's insane. Like, the fact that the Thomas, Holloway, and Snuggerud line leads the NHL, like, again, that just goes to show how valuable that line is. And I know that a lot of us were a little bit frustrated that it took a little while for that line to come together, but now that we have that line, it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. You need to extend Dylan Holloway first and foremost. But right now, I just see a lot of hope and a lot of potential. While some of these teams haven't played their starters, I know that some of the Wild fans were not too happy with the title that I made my one episode, but it's still a win. So just leave me alone and let me have the small victory. It's still a way for the Blues to gain confidence, as I stated. Logan Mayu needed that goal last night. He is somebody that's been kind of like on a seesaw all season, in my opinion. There's parts of his game that I personally enjoy and I like watching. And then there's other parts to his game where I'm not a fan. And I think when it comes to certain players, sometimes it's how you end the season. And while Logan, I believe it was a couple weeks ago, he didn't have the best game. It was his fault that I think like 3 goals were scored against the Blues. It was not good. I still have to say, I think that he has, in a way, stepped up and he overcame that. Because it's really, really easy to get stuck in those patterns and to get in your head. And I think for Logan, especially, this was a really good sign in last night's showing. I know Bushi scored with Kairu with the feed. Am I sold? No, I'm not. And again, I think Bushi has a great shot. I don't think that that's the issue with him. Sometimes it's just the effort, and that's what it comes down to. While you're not playing for a spot in the playoffs, you're playing, and I hate to say meaningless hockey, but is it meaningless hockey? Because there are some guys that are playing for contracts. There are some guys that are playing because this might be the last game that they play in the NHL or wearing the blue note. You get what I'm saying? It's not meaningless in that sense. And the standings, yeah, I guess you can say it's meaningless. But again, I am somebody that evaluates last night's game as an overall win. I mean, Robert Thomas had 2 hat tricks this season, and these were his first 2 ever hat tricks. And I know there's a lot of people that are down on Robert Thomas, and especially when the Blues posted about the hat trick, and a lot of comments were like, why couldn't he have done this the whole time? And I want to respond to that. I think for somebody like him, he dealt with injuries. And do we know if he came back truly healthy? We don't know, right? Maybe we'll find out at the end of the season pressers. Maybe. I give him a lot of credit because he's had to deal with injuries on 2 different seasons. And there is a huge part of me that thinks he was more injured this season than he led on to be. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just using that as a reality check. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that we're wrong for thinking this way, but sometimes our judgment gets clouded and we don't see other perspectives. And I am just putting this out here. Would your opinion change if you knew that he was dealing with a bigger injury that you didn't know about? Or do you feel the same? I am curious about that. But Joel Hofer was in net last night, and I thought he had a really good showing. I have to say, the defense is an issue. Hofer, however, is not. I love watching him play. He is so good and solid in net. And I feel very confident whenever I watch Joel Hofer. And, the broadcast said it last night, and I actually agree with them. He's playing like a number 1 guy, not even, auditioning for the spot, but playing as somebody that has that spot. And his poise and his confidence and his awareness around the net, it's so evident how much he's actually grown. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. And I know that it's going to bring up some questions about other players. And again, time will tell. But right now, in this very moment, on Friday, April 17th, I do feel like we have our new starting goalie. Because I do believe come next season, there won't be any other options. But a win is a win, right? You take the dub, and now you can say that you finish your season on a good note. You finish your season with 86 points. Okay. Obviously, this team didn't make the playoffs, but 37 wins, 33 losses, and 12 OTL. And it is what it is, right? You got to go back next season, make some of those changes, grind harder, but evidently You finish in a much better place than you were supposed to. So I'll give the boys credit when it comes to that. Coming up, I did some end of the season awards. And I want to share with you some of them because I did the positive ones. Of course, some of you were being so negative, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be a little bit positive. I feel like I am always positive. Kind of, not really. All right, coming up, I'm going to talk to you about those awards, and I'll get to that right after this. I want to talk to you about my friends over at Gametime. And we have all these graphics, and I have yet to find my Gametime graphic. Okay, I found the graphic, so let's get into it. There's nothing like being in an NBA arena, the crowd, the energy, the moment. Getting tickets, though, that part hasn't been so simple. That's why Gametime has become the go to app for scoring tickets fast without the hassle. It puts the advantage back where it belongs, with the fans. One thing that I love about the Gametime app is that I get to see all in pricing up front, so there's no surprise fees at checkout. I also love that I'm able to see the view from the seat before buying a ticket, and that made my decision so easy. The zone deals also stood out to me because you choose the section and Game Time picks the seats and you save. They also have great last minute options too with NBA tickets showing up at solid prices, and everything feels quick and stress free from start to finish. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKED ON for $20 off your first purchase. That's code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. And remember, it's gametime.co, not .com. The NHL playoffs are here, where every shift matters, every moment is intense, and the pressure is at its highest. And just like the performance matters on the ice, it matters off the ice too. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet offers treatments designed to help you get ready and stay ready when it matters. Their top option, Rugiet Ready, combines clinically proven ingredients in a simple mint that dissolves under your tongue. It works fast, often in about 15 minutes, and it can last up to 36 hours. And they also offer Go Long, designed to help win both performance and control. It's all about the confidence and feeling like yourself again. Head to rugiet.com/lockedonnhl and get 15% off your ED treatment. That's rugiet.com/lockedonnhl for 15% off Rugiet Performance Medicine for Men. I also want to let you know about our Everydayer Club because this is really cool. For only $5 a month, you get to listen to ad-free episodes of Locked On Blues, and the best part, it syncs up to your Spotify, to your Apple Music, to your Amazon podcast, okay? So there's no need to have to go onto the website every single day when you can just log onto your app of choice and it's already there. And on top of that, I'm still getting those spam calls, by the way. On top of that, you also get invited to an exclusive Discord chat where you can talk amongst each other all things blues and playoff hockey. So again, $5 a month for ad-free episodes and a Discord. I mean, come on, that is a steal. So make sure you sign up today at lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. I feel like all I get are these spam calls lately, and it's not because of the post that I made on Twitter. People may be agreeing or disagreeing, but I decided to do something called the end of the season awards where I'm going to do different awards for specific players just because we need to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. So, player of this season, in my opinion, it's Jimmy Snuggard. I mean, Snuggy, again, has been incredible this season, rookie season. I know it's hard to believe because in those games that he played last season, he played so, so well. And you might be thinking to yourself, hell, there's no way that he is a rookie. Well, guess what? He is. So I am most proud of Jimmy Snuggard. I thought he actually had a really good showing this season. And I feel as if he was the player that stood out to me the most this season. 51 points, okay, with 21 goals and 30 assists. He was also plus 16. Um, he also had 5 game-winning goals too. The most improved would have to be Joel Hofer. I have to tell you, Joel Hofer has been one of the bright spots of this season. I was a little bit worried about him in the beginning of the season because he wasn't playing as well. And throughout this season, he just improved. He finished his season with a 910 save percentage, allowing about 2.5 goals against. But here's the thing, he played 46 games. He started in 43 with 24 wins and 13 losses and 5 OT. Biddington, on the other hand, played in 41 games, started in 39. He won 13, lost 20, 7 overtime, and his save percentage was an 873, and he allowed about 3.5 goals on average. So, again, when you compare the two goalies, yes. Was Joel Hofer better? Yes. Is it still great stats? No. But at the end of the day, for what it's worth, Hofer stepped up, and I feel really good about his game and his ability. Deserves an extension. Dylan bleeping Holloway. Holloway finished the season with 51 points, 22 goals, and 29 assists. He did play only in 59 games, by the way, because he was out dealing with injury. So those are really good numbers. He also finished the season plus 13. I believe that Dylan Holloway does deserve an extension. I'm a really big fan of Holloway, Hollywood Holloway, as I call him. And he is somebody that I look at and see him long term here in St. Louis. I can't imagine the team wouldn't offer him an extension. The best leadership, RT18. Now, RT18 only played in 64 games, producing 25 goals and 39 assists for a total of 64 points. Okay. Led the team in points. He also was plus 22. 2 Hatties this season, 4 game winning goals, 2 shorthanded goals, 3 power play goals. I mean, this is a guy, in my opinion, that truly knows how to find success in the back of the net. The one thing I will say about Robert Thomas, though, is that a lot of people speculate that he's quiet, but when I was in the locker room, and again, I've been in the locker room now for multiple seasons, like 3 or 4 seasons, when they come to where I live for their road trip, I have to say the guys have a lot of respect for him and Binnington, and at the time, Braden Shen. Oddly enough, Bushi. Maybe, whatever. I'm not going to comment. Um, and I think when Robert Thomas is on the ice and how he's been able to help Jimmy Snuggard with his game, that demonstrates leadership to me. Leadership doesn't always mean you have to be the loudest player. It just means that you have to be a player that exemplifies what it's like to be a leader. And I know I've been saying that I think he's going to be the future captain. Well, yes, I still think that. But there's reasons why, and this is one of them. The most passionate, Sonny, obviously Sonny. I mean, Sonny was on the radio the other day saying that he would die for the Blue Note. Now, while I don't know if they're going to bring Sonny back, maybe a 1-year deal, we'll see. I think that he truly is the definition of a St. Louis Blue. He won a cup with the Blues. He has a lot of passion about the city, about the people. He truly loves it here in St. Louis. And he loves the Blue Note. And it's so obvious. I mean, when he's out on ice, and again, I also need to give Nathan Walker credit too. And Alexei Turchenko, because all of those guys, they work so hard, whether it's on the 4th line or when needed on the 3rd line. And while they don't play in all the games, I know I'm kind of clumping them all together right now, they truly do hold their own and they do make a difference. And I think for what it's worth, that matters. Sometimes it's not always about the points that you produce, but it's about how hard you work. And they work very hard. Now, points are important, and I'm not denying that. But I think we also need to talk about the positives of what it's like to have role players, right? Not key players, but just players that know how to make a positive effort and effect on ice. And for those guys specifically, they all do, but Sonny just takes it one step further because he truly has so much passion. And I am proud to say that, he rocked our logo, holding up the cup. Um, Somebody said Thomas was a Debbie Downer until Shen left. I don't think so at all. I think that, and that's a comment that I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, why did Thomas all of a sudden begin playing good when Braden left? I don't think it had anything to do with the letters on their sweaters. I just think that, sometimes you go on a heater, and that was just a moment that he went on a heater. I don't think you can control that. I think it just sometimes happens. But I do understand that the timing is a little bit weird. Also, I am going to do like the most disappointing and all that stuff. And we all know who I'm going to say. So that's coming. Um, a lot of people were saying the most passionate is Jake Neighbors. And I agree. I think Jake Neighbors is very passionate. Again, I am not denying that. I think that Neighbors has a lot of energy. I think that he does a lot of good. And there's a lot about his game that I like. I just think when you go on the radio, something as public as Oscar Sundquist did, and so that you would die for the blue note, I think that just takes it one step further. Again, it's not like it's supposed to be a competition like that. It's just my opinion. So let me know your opinions and what you think. Coming up, we already know it's the Goated Friday segment. Are we feeling blue? Was this a good week or is this a bad week for our boys in blue? And I'm going to talk to you about that right after this. If you've got a sweet tooth like I do, you know how tough it is to find a perfect treat without all the sugar. And that's why the Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shot brings that nostalgic flavor back in a whole new way. This is that classic cotton candy taste you remember, but with a tasty caffeine boost and zero sugar. It's a quick, easy way to satisfy that sweet craving while keeping things simple and on the go. I've always loved cotton candy, but I can't be eating sweets all day, and this is the perfect alternative. The flavor really does bring that throwback fruity vanilla vibe, and it's surprisingly smooth, and I like how convenient it is too. It's just a small portable shot I can grab whenever I need a little pick me up. It's become my go to when I want something sweet without going overboard. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online now at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. It is the last Are We Feeling Blue for the regular season. And I have to tell you, literally, I am feeling so good. We don't have to watch any mediocre hockey. Now, I was excited about the boys going on a bit of a heater, right? I mean, who wasn't? I know I was, but I have to say, Blues hockey stresses me out. And I wouldn't change it for the world. But for whatever reason, I'm like, wait, we can breathe again. Like, let's all breathe a sigh of relief. Like, no more. No more. It's done. The season is done. It's time to move on. The Blues also fired their assistant coaches today. I actually liked Claude Julien a lot. I know that's not something that Monty brought on, but I did like him. So, like, that sucks. But I feel like there is change coming. And change, my friends, it's scary, but it's so needed when it comes to this team. I feel like ending on a win streak, a 4-game win streak, just set the tone for what's going to come next season. This isn't a team that's going to give up. And I like that about the Blues. I do. I like that a lot. I like that mentality. I love that mentality. Don't leave this season as a loser. Head up high. I do think trades are going to happen. I don't think we're going to see Jordan Binnington wearing the blue note next season. Like, I think that there's going to be a lot of change. However, one of the big things that I want to see for next season is just starting on the right note. Now, that goes with training hard over the summer. Like, there's a lot of things that go on during the off season that impact how your regular season begins. So I need the Blues to just work hard over the summer, train hard, eat well, do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, when it's game one, You need to go out there and show everybody, hey, we have what it takes. I don't want any more of these 8-0 losses or 8-1 losses. It's so embarrassing. No more of that. I need this team to have the right mentality. I need them to be focused. I need them to just be just do what you did these last 4 games. Do what you did in March. Do what you did in April. Like just stop with this constant pattern of just it's like a roller coaster. The highs are high and the lows are lows. Just be like a lazy river. Well, maybe not like a lazy river. That was a bad. Be like a highway. Life is a highway. I want to ride it. Yeah, ride the grind. Okay? You can tell that I kind of lost my mind this season. The delusion, the everything. This season has taken a lot out of me. But it's the off season now, so 1, 2, 3, Cabo. 1, 2, 3, golf courses, and 1, 2, 3, playoff hockey. Even though I wish it was the Blues, but we'll get back. I have a feeling next season, wild card 1, and I also want to tell you, and I'm just gonna let you know, this off season, Robert Thomas, he's gonna get that C. I have a feeling. I have a really good feeling. I can't deny it. If he doesn't get it, I'll be what's that one song? It's like I'm heartbroken. Okay, I'm not gonna sing, but I'll be upset. All right, I'll talk to you all on Monday unless something else happens. But until then, happy end of the season. I miss it too. But like always, 1, 2, 3, let's go Blues.